Love, light, and blessings. Shamanic Allied Priestess here. And I wanted to make this video. I just felt really inspired to do the series because it's basically viewer requested, really. One of the things I always get is people requesting me to mentor them on tarot, how to improve their tarot abilities, things like that. Or I get asked like, what books do you use? How did you learn the tarot? So on and so forth. So because of these questions, I decided to create a new series. If there's a lot of noise in the background, I'm sorry, but we're kind of like on a lunch break right now. So it's going to be, sorry, let me look. I actually, Spirit gave me a title. So it's basically tarot beginner series. And today is going to be episode 1, Mythbuster, okay? And so what myth are we talking about? There's this common misconception that everybody thinks that you're supposed to automatically start off with RiderWaite-Smith, okay? And I'm here to tell you that that's not true. Not everybody is going to have a connection to RiderWaite-Smith. I do, I love it. But if I'm honest, that wasn't the first deck that I was attracted to, okay? So yeah, like RiderWaite-Smith isn't going to be for everybody. Sometimes people, they don't like her. I love Pamela Coleman Smith artwork, but not everyone is attracted to Pamela Coleman Smith artwork. Or some people are like, there's like not a lot of racial diversity or body diversity. Some people don't like that this looks like it takes place in an ancient time or whatever. So some people are attracted to more modern tarot decks, decks that may have more racial diversity, you know, things like that. So Rider-Waite isn't for everybody. Maybe, you know, I have people that like, I try to study it, it's just not, I'm not getting it. Maybe it's something as easy as, or as simple as, maybe you just have the wrong deck. Maybe you haven't found that deck that is going to inspire you to learn. And even though a lot of books do use the Rider-Waite-Smith artwork or deck as a focal point, okay, you do have alternatives. So one of the alternatives is you have decks like this one. This is Psychic Tarot, the Psychic Tarot, which is more of a tarot oracle. And this was actually outside of my first deck, which again was not Rider-Waite-Smith. My first deck was just a simple deck of playing cards, okay? Reading water, scrying on water, channeling spirits, things like that. So not everybody is going to read with a Rider-Waite deck. There are people that legitimately can do, and I can too, do a full reading with this. When I'm doing spiritual court investigations, I'm using a deck of playing cards. This is why when I read, a lot of times I don't show you my cards because it's usually like a deck of playing cards. I might read you with a tarot deck, but I might also have as a side deck a deck of playing cards. When I'm looking at time frames, when I'm looking at a whole bunch of stuff, I see things in these cards, okay? So, and there's people that, you know, maybe they read runes. Like I had a comment the other day when I was showing my Rider-Waite-Smith collection. One of my new subscribers was saying how they read runes. And I think that's perfect because you have to first figure out what form of divination is calling to you. If tarot's calling to you and you like the system of Rider-Waite-Smith, but you don't necessarily like the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, there are options. I feel like as long as the deck has a good guidebook, a lot of Llewellyn's decks, unfortunately not Los Caribo, but Llewellyn's decks usually come with good guidebooks, okay? Decks like the Shadowscapes and Tarot of the Hidden Realm, they have really good guidebooks, okay? You also have the Druid Craft that has a great guidebook because maybe that type of artwork is something that calls to you. You have the Light Seers Tarot. This is a pretty neat guidebook. It gives you at least basic meanings. I know people that they learned on this deck because this deck called to them. They like this artwork better. They feel more of a connection to it. I feel like that's the most important thing. again, when I was first starting out, I used cartomancy, and from cartomancy I connected to, literally was my first deck that I ever got, was the Psychic Tarot, okay? And the Angel Tarot cards, okay? There's people that start off with this. This has a great guidebook, okay? And this is his own system because it has like, it has the elements, not like cups. It has like actual water suits. It has some words there on the bottom, so on and so forth. So you have decks that have the actual meanings on there, so you can use that to like learn whatever the case may be. So we have option, guys. You have options. So again, the biggest thing that you need to figure out is what form of divination is for you. Maybe yours is cartomancy. Maybe it is RiderWaite-Smith. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's more of an oracle deck that infuses tarot things. Maybe it's decks like the Light Seers, which is more of a modern take, okay? Or like, again, it could just be something as simple, again, like I said, as the artwork. Maybe your thing is more of this type of deck, a Tarot Illuminati. This also has a good guidebook, okay? And this deck does have diversity, okay? It does have diversity in it, okay? Sorry, I'm trying to... Well, anyways, this deck does have... I don't want to mess up the... This is like my unused one. I couldn't... Yeah. So, you know, there is different ethnicities in here. It's more lavish than the artwork that... the Pamela Coleman-Smith artwork. I'm trying to do this with like one hand. Okay, and like again, it has like a guidebook. So if you're gonna go and use a deck that's outside of the RiderWaite-Smith, or you can even buy the RiderWaite-Smith just for study purposes. People do that too. Or again, you can get like a Llewellyn. There's so many options. They have one series, Llewellyn, called the Easy Tarot. And it's very much like the RiderWaite-Smith imagery, but it's like a different art style. So you can do something like that. Again, you can use, some people are more drawn to, like I said, like one of the subscribers. They're more drawn to working with runes, okay? You have people in the Ifa traditions, in the ATR, they read the Delagum. You have people like me that do cartomancy, which you see that a lot in Haitian voodoo, cartomancy, things like that. Your thing may be oracles. Maybe you want to read yourself with oracle decks because they'll speak to you. This is my first ever oracle deck that I ever owned. It was my first decks outside of cartomancy were the Psychic Tarot, the Archangel cards, okay, and Doreen Virtual's the Romance Angel cards, which I don't have anymore. So yeah, you know, that's just, and then later on I got Crystal Visions and Robin Wood and all of that. But I learned on decks that were clones of RiderWaite-Smith, not necessarily the RiderWaite-Smith. That deck came later. I didn't know what the name of the deck was. And then once I saw the deck, I saw the Devil card. I had issues with that until one day I felt comfortable. And once I connected with it, I connected with it. But a lot more people than you think don't necessarily start off, nor does RiderWaite-Smith call to them. And so we have to be honest with ourselves. There is no point of trying to learn a system if that system, or having a deck to learn from, if it doesn't really call to you, if you have an aversion to it, so on and so forth. Another form of tarot could be the Thoth. I don't have a Thoth deck, but some people swear by the Thoth. That's their system. That's the deck that calls to them. That's the deck that inspires them to learn. There's people that can connect better with Tarot de Marseille or Tarot de Marseille. And they like more pip decks, okay? I love pip decks because, again, it just reminds me more of cartomancy, okay? And I still use cartomancy when I'm reading you guys professionally, when I'm doing any type of specialized reading, because with playing cards, I can really, really channel through the spirits and things like that. It's a very deep connection. So again, you just have to find the form of divination that speaks to you, the form of divination that you want to, it's going to inspire you to study, you know. If if you're planning to get into any form of divination, you might actually just, I had a person read me professionally. It gave me a great reading with these Romani cards, okay? And that's all she used. I know many people, they only use one deck. That's another thing. You do not need to own, and there's nothing against collectors, but you do not need to own 10,000 million decks. You just have to figure out what system. Are you more of a Lenormand person? Are you more of a Romani cards, okay? Are you more like, does this deck call to you more? Does the Marseille decks call to you more? Does a deck with more of a tarot / oracle, so a tarot deck call to you? Does a regular oracle deck call to you? Does Doreen Virtual's decks, or actually now Radley Valentine's deck with the wordings on the bottom, call to you more? You know, is it something as easy or as simple as, I just don't like a certain art style of a certain deck? You know, these are all things to take into account. Again, maybe I knew somebody who read professionally with runes. That's all she used. Like I said, maybe Lenormand is your thing, okay? Just know that you don't have to go out of your way to buy so many decks and so many things. Don't torture yourself if tarot really isn't for you. Maybe your thing is cartomancy. There's this nice deck here that I actually love. I had to put a thing because it doesn't close for some reason once you get it. That it has cartomancy, but it has like illustrations in it, and it's a really, really nice deck. Like, the readings are really accurate. Some of the meanings I do feel like they mean the same thing for me too, and I just love the look of this. So you can get something like this. It has a great guidebook that's like to the point, that's going to tell you the meanings and things like that. So you can learn like what the cards mean and everything. Yeah, you know, there are books on how to read cartomancy. Everybody has their own way of doing it, so make sure it's a book that speaks to you. There are books that have tarot, like to learn tarot, they don't even use the RiderWaite-Smith. I know the person who created Los Caribo has like, there's books that will teach you how to read Marseille, or there's books that will just teach you the meanings, and you can just relate it to whatever deck you have. And there are also decks that have great guidebooks. So no, your first deck, first and foremost, does not have to be RiderWaite-Smith. Does not even have to be RiderWaite-Smith inspired. The Hoodoo Tarot has its own system and its own thing, right? It's kind of more of a non-traditional deck. I couldn't find it, and I wanted to make this video before I went back to work. But the Hoodoo Tarot has a great guidebook, okay? The guidebook, that's the important thing. If you can get yourself like a deck that comes with a guidebook, you don't have to go the RiderWaite-Smith route. Again, you can get an oracle. You can learn how to read playing cards. You can learn how to read runes. You can learn, there's so many different, and then there's people, they channel. Okay, I went a lot of years without using any tools at all. That's why I have my own different way of reading the cards. It's not just about the meanings. It's so much more deeper than that, because I am a channeler. So just know that you don't have to do what everybody else does. You don't even have to like tarot at all. You can literally do Lenormand. You can literally do oracle cards. You can literally do Romani cards. There's so many different forms of divination. There's people that read crystals. There's people that scry through water. There's just so many different ways that one can do divination. So don't ever box yourself in. And if tarot really isn't speaking to you and you're having a hard time learning, maybe it's something as simple as maybe you should look into other forms of divination. Maybe it could be that the guidebook that you're using isn't it, or the deck that you're trying to learn on just isn't it. So really take that time to contemplate like what's going on, you know. And for some people, divination just isn't for them. They're just like, I'd rather go to somebody else. But I just wanted to kind of break that myth. No, you do not have to. Get yourself a traditional RiderWaite-Smith deck and read with it. No. That deck is not for everyone, okay? I personally love it, but it's not for everybody. Everybody's journey with tarot is going to be different, okay? And know that. So hopefully this video makes sense, and I hope that you guys will enjoy this series, because I've been wanting to make that series. It's why I've never done or participated in what are great decks for beginners and all of that, because I don't believe in it. The beginning deck or a beginner's deck is whatever deck speaks to you, whatever deck inspires you to want to learn the tarot or want to learn a form of divination. Whatever deck makes you like, I don't like tarot, I want to get into Lenormand, or I want to get into oracles, or whatever it is. There's no right or wrong way. Like, there's so many different ways and so many different forms of divination. Don't box yourself in, because again, when I worked on the psychic hotline, yes, we had people that read tarot, but we also had a lot of readers that gave great and amazing readings that don't even know how to read tarot, and they read the Romani cards. Okay, I knew so many people. Ooh. Okay, my godmother, okay, she strictly only reads Lenormand. My daughter, badass reader, accurate, wonderful. She reads, okay, she reads Loteria cards, okay. And me, I started on regular playing cards, okay, and then transitioned into tarot. But I love playing cards because, again, I can really channel. Like, this is just like, I think that's why, to me, when I transitioned into tarot, it was just so much more, it was easy for me to go into Marseille, go into tarot, because these have no images in them other than the, you know, the court cards, the queens, the kings, and the jacks. So, you know, other than that, there's no pictures in the cards. And it just really enhanced my psychic abilities. That and channeling. So, all right, guys. So, again, hopefully you like this video. If you want to work on me on a one-on-one basis, shamanic@workpieces.com. You can do readings. You can book a consultation if you want me to do any type of ritual or spell work. Remember, I do the right and left-handed path. Please like, please subscribe, please comment below. Let me know if you're looking forward to these series. I'm going to tackle a lot of myths and tips and tricks into just getting you guys started on your journey to divination. Much love, much light, much blessings. Bye, guys.